All right, question number 4. It says, A says the functions f and g are defined as as follows. F of x is 5x plus 7. G of x is 3x minus 1. For the function given above, we're to determine g of 1/3. All right, so g of x is equal to 3x minus 1, and we're asked to find g of 1/3. Now, if you're given g of x and you're asked to find g of 1/3, all you simply have to do in g of x, wherever you see x, take out x and put 1/3. So this is 3 times x, which is 1/3, minus 1. Now, 3 times 1/3 is 1. So this is 1 minus 1. G of 1/3 is equal to 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. Next, we're asked to find f inverse of minus 3. Now, if someone asks me to find f inverse of minus 3, I'm going to first solve the equation f of x is equal to minus 3. Now, f of x is what? 5x plus 7. So 5x plus 7 is equal to minus 3. 5x would be equal to minus 3 minus 7. Positive 7 on the left goes over to the right and become negative. 5x is equal to minus 10. Minus 3 minus 7 is minus 10. If the signs are the same, you add and keep the sign. Lastly, I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And I'm going to get that x is equal to minus 2. So next, I'm just going to simply say f inverse of minus 3 is equal to minus 2. F inverse of minus 3 is equal to minus 2. So obviously there's another way of doing this, but this I think is the best way and the quickest way for me. The other way you could have done the question was to first find f inverse of x. So if f of x, you could go through the process of finding f inverse of x. So f inverse of x, you could go through the process. I'm just going to write it down. It's going to be equal to x minus 7 over 5. And so f inverse of minus 3, wherever I see x, I'm going to put minus 3 minus 7 over 5. This is minus 10 over 5. This is minus 2. So that's the other way the question could have been done. All right, so look at it and choose the way that works best for you. All right, moving on. So this says the line L is shown on the grid below. So on this grid, we have the line L. You can clearly see it. We're asked to write the equation of the line L in the form y is equal to mx plus c. Now, a straight line is defined by two things. A straight line is defined by its gradient and by the y-intercept. Now, the y-intercept is where the graph cuts the y-axis. Now, this graph cuts the y-axis here. So this is the y-intercept. Now, the y-intercept is c, so c is 1. So I said a straight line is defined by two things. It's defined by its gradient and by the y-intercept. All right, let's find the gradient. In order for me to find the gradient, I need the coordinates of 2 points on the line. I'm going to use the y-intercept and the x-intercept. The y-intercept is 0, 1, and the x-intercept is -3, 0. So the 2 points I'm using are -3, 0, which is the x-intercept, and 0, 1, which is the y-intercept. So the gradient m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's call this x1, y1, and x2, y2. So m, the gradient, is equal to y2, which is 1, minus y1, which is 0, over x2, which is 0, minus x1, which is -3. So this is minus 3. So the gradient m would be equal to, at the top I have 1, down by the bottom I have 0, minus -3, and minus is a plus, so it's 0 plus 3, which is 3. So the gradient is 3. So the equation of the line is y is equal to mx plus c. M, the gradient, is a third, and c, which is the y-intercept, is 1. The equation of the line L is y is equal to m, which is a third, x plus c, which is 1. The equation of the line L is y is equal to 1/3 x plus 1. Continuing. Next, we're told that the equation of a different line Q is y is equal to -2x plus 8. We're to write down the coordinates of the point where Q crosses the x-axis. Now, the x-axis is the line. Let me just write the statement. I didn't need to write it, but I'm writing it for teaching purposes. The x-axis is the line y is equal to 0. So the line y is equal to 0 has a special name. It is called the x-axis. So if I want to determine the coordinates of the x-axis, I'm going to substitute y is equal to 0 into the equation. So I'm going to say when y is equal to 0, which is the equation of the x-axis, I'm going to get 0 is equal to -2x plus 8. -2 come over to the left and become +2x is equal to 8. Divide both sides by 2. And now we get x is equal to 4. So the value of x at the x-intercept is 4, and obviously the value of y is 0. So I can now write that 4, 0 is the x-intercept. 4, 0 is the coordinates, or the coordinates of the x-intercept. Write down the coordinates of the point Q, where the point Q crosses the y-axis. Now you can get that from the equation itself. Y is equal to -2x plus 8. This is in the form y is equal to mx plus c. Now, so c is 8, and c is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. So write down the coordinates. The coordinates of the y-intercept are r0, 8. 0, 8 is the y-intercept. Now, the y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. The y-axis is the line x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 8 are the coordinates of the y-intercept. It says on the grid on page 14, we're to draw the line Q. All right, so let's draw the line Q. The line Q is it's minus 2, 8. Y is equal to minus 2, 8. We have the x-intercept already, and we have the y-intercept. So let's use those to as the 2 points we use to draw the straight line. To draw any straight line, you need to know the coordinates of 2 points on the line, and we do. We have the x-intercept and the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0, 8. The x-intercept is 4, 0. So 0, 8, that's the y-intercept. The line crosses the y-intercept here. It crosses the x-intercept here. So all I have to do now is draw a straight line through the y-intercept and the x-intercept. Straighten the line. Straight passes through the y-intercept. All right, so this is the line Q. This is the line Q. All right, so let's see the last part of the question. We're asked to complete the statement. According to the graph, the solution of the systems of equations, of the system of equation consisting of L and Q is, all right, first of all, L is y is equal to a third x plus 1. This is the same as saying 3y is equal to x plus 3. And let's multiply the entire equation by 3. This is the same as saying minus x plus 3y is equal to 3. So when they're talking about systems of equation, what they're basically talking about is the solution of simultaneous equations. So this is L. The next line is Q. Q is the line y is equal to minus what? 2x plus 8. So this is, we could say that this is 2x plus y is equal to 8. Our simultaneous equations would have what? We would have minus x plus 3, y is equal to 3, that's L. And we have what? 2x plus y is equal to 8. Now, so what they're asking us now, according to, it says we are to complete the statement. According to the graph, the solution of the systems of equation consisting of L and Q. So L and Q, in other words, what's the solution of the simultaneous equations L and Q? Now, whenever graph is used to solve simultaneous equation, the solution, the solutions are the values of x and y, or the solution is the value of x and y at the point of intersection. So these two graphs intersect at this point here, where x is what? 3 and y is 2. So the solutions of the systems of equations consisting of L and Q, the solutions, our solution is x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 2.